Hey fellow fragrance lovers and enthusiasts, how are you doing today? How's the fragrance world? How's the fragrance life? How you smelling? Let's talk about some beautiful fragrances. Y'all saw the title. I have a big beautiful fragrance haul today from Fragrance by CA. If you don't know about Fragrance by CA, I'm not affiliated with them. They're not plugging me. I'm not plugging them. No money's been exchanged, but I do want to put out a good word for them because FragranceNet is very reputable. Their shipping can be slow, but Fragrance by CA is another fantastic option. And sometimes one has fragrances the other doesn't have. So let's showcase these fragrances, and this is going to be a lot of fun, guys. The first one I have to share with y'all is Dark Rebel Rider. This is not the original Dark Rebel. This is a flanker. And I really love this fragrance. It still retains a little bit of that salted black licorice quality from the original, that almost dark, inky, very heavy vibe, but it makes it a little bit lighter. It's still dark. It's still a fall, winter, maybe even winter fragrance, but it adds a little bit of booziness, and the fragrance, the tone of the fragrance, instead of that licorice vibe, it's focused a little bit more on like a black leather. Still a bad boy fragrance, still a seductive charmer, and I really like this fragrance. It's a little bit more subtle. It's a fragrance that probably would work a little bit better for an actual date. Now, if you're a guy who's on the prowl, Dark Rebel might work for you, especially if you like intense, brooding dark fragrances. But this one is a little bit more appropriate for, it's a little bit more versatile, but still really, more in the date and the party scene kind of vibe. So, if you're maybe a little bit goth, a little bit emo, or that kind of guy, this is another great fragrance for you. Or maybe you just got that bad boy vibe, a little bit of it underneath your skin. Great fragrance, very well done. I've heard that John Varvatos is being discontinued, or the house is being bankrupt, so jump on this one. If you like things like Prada, the line as a whole, or even just the black version, the Luna Rosa Black, you might like this one if you like those kinds of fragrances as well. So give this one a chance. I think it's pretty darn good juice. The next one actually was a little bit of a miss. I actually don't love this one. This is You or Someone Like You by Etat Libre d'Orange. I actually had really high hopes for this one because I'm a big mint lover. I love fragrances like Renaissance by Xerjoff. Mint is one of my favorite notes if it's used right. This is a little bit more of that wild mint. It smells a little bit more almost like a dirty mint, like unprocessed, unfiltered, essential oil kind of mint. And it's added with citrus. It's not really blended or rounded out and made smooth or creamy. To me, mint really has to be blended with vanilla or sandalwood or something to round out the edges, and that's when I like the fragrance. Just like with pistachios, I really don't like pistachios on their own, but you add some vanilla ice cream and you got magic. So I love pistachio ice cream, by the way. And this fragrance is just not something that I really love. I think it's a good one, but I really do like my Rivolare and some other mint fragrances out there. A little bit disappointed because I, again, had high hopes. Mint is one of my favorite notes. I do like this brand. I wanted to like this. A lot of people actually, fragrance reviewers out there, suggested that this is the easiest to wear and maybe the easiest to like from the house, and maybe the best fragrance from Etat Libre d'Orange. I have to disagree. I think that Remarkable People, even though it does have like a curry supposedly note or a culinary type of note supposedly in the background, it's really not a big player in the fragrance. It really doesn't stand out to me at all. Maybe I'm not that sensitive to spices, but to me, that's the easiest to wear. It still has an interesting character. So it has decent performance, and it smells absolutely beautiful. So if you're looking for Etat Libre d'Orange, I definitely would encourage Remarkable People. But if you like things like Dead Cool, I reviewed a fragrance by them called Mint. I wasn't very positive about that either, but this just isn't my style of fragrance. Maybe, again, if you like fresh, abrasive, citrusy mint fragrances, it might be for you. It's not for me. The next fragrance is Cho Parts Oud Malaki. Now, this is an absolutely great fragrance. Shout out to Aussie Fragrance. I had seen this one here and there. I'd been tempted to buy it, but honestly, I usually saw it for 60. A lot of the times even $80. This fragrance actually retails for, I think, over 120 bucks. So when I saw this on Fragrance by CA for a little over 40 with my 10% off, You know, you can get free shipping if you buy 5 and 10% off if you use your points. And sometimes they have special limited time offers where you can get both of them for free with a discount, you know, just a code they give you. I got this for under $30 and the US dollars. And the thing is, this is one of the highest quality grapefruits on the market. If you like the grapefruit off Blue de Chanel, you know, this blows it out of the water. This is so much higher quality, so much better smelling, the grapefruit, and absolutely gorgeous fragrance. There's a little bit of natural sweetness in the background. And I don't want to spoil the review, but this is probably the easiest to wear, safest, most mass appealing, and unisex oud on the market. I have suggested Hugo Boss bottled oud before. I have suggested for somebody who likes the gourmands, you know, Scent Store's 24 Gold Oud Edition. But if you're a lady out there, or if you're just a guy who wants an easy breezy, more of a citrus fragrance with a little bit of oud as a character, this is gorgeous. And it's a full-size bottle. 80 mils, 2.7 ounce for under $40. This is a steal, unbelievable value, and it's a gorgeous fragrance. The grapefruit does go away eventually, and it ends up being a little bit of a musk with these little tiny bits of oriental, like spicy, slightly ambery overtones. And the oud very much is not a big player in this fragrance. It just adds a little bit of that almost like ambery, interesting woody facet just in the background. As far as I know, it's a little bit more of that Laotian or maybe Indonesian type of oud that's feels a little bit more of like a lighter brown wood instead of the dark, brooding, earthy kind of nature that oud can have. And it doesn't really, this one really doesn't have any of the animalics to it whatsoever. So if you don't like animalics and you still want a taste of a little bit of the taste of what oud is, Cho Parts Oud Malaki is highly suggested, highly recommended by me. Great fragrance and amazing value. The next fragrance is Halloween Man X. I had heard lots about this fragrance. It actually is hard. You pretty much can't find it on eBay, especially for a decent price. It's sold out at most discounters, so I don't know if this house is discontinued or just because of everything that's happening in the world. I don't know if this just isn't available, being spread around very often. But interesting name as a choice of a house, Halloween Man. But I do have to give them kudos for this great fragrance. Jackfruit, very interesting fruity quality to this. A little bit of coffee, a little bit of a mass appealing blue nature in the background. This is a fragrance for a blue fragrance for people like me who don't like blue fragrances. I actually usually don't like them, and I usually don't like that quality, but I think I'm going to keep this one, and this is probably my only blue fragrance I'm going to have in my collection. Great fragrance, interesting, sweet, fruity quality, and the coffee comes out, and actually this fragrance really doesn't smell cheap. The coffee smells more on the natural side, and it's just a mass appealing fragrance, but yet has some interesting quality about it. So if that sounds good to you, if you like something that's a tiny bit on the gourmand side, and you want a twist on a mass appealing fragrance, this is one of the better ones. And again, I got it for like a $20 bill or maybe less with the discount code. And this is the tester. Great value for money. And I can see why people rant and rave about that one as a great cheapie. It's pretty darn good. So the last one I got was Amber Fever. Now, I do have to say that this fragrance is not something that I conventionally go for. It's not something I buy a lot of the times. It's a little bit more of a fragrance that feels, I don't know, maybe very unisex, maybe slightly on the feminine side, but it's very easy to wear for anybody. It's sweet. It, again, has a little bit of that tiramisu type of quality. Almost reminds me of coconut cake, but mostly of what you're getting out of this fragrance is a little bit of that coffee as well, modern amber woods, a little, and it just smells gorgeous. It's sweet. It's another semi-gourmand or just outright gourmand, but it's light. It's easy to wear. Very, very unisex. Ladies can wear it. Guys can wear it. Just smells beautiful on anybody. I love the woody nuances that come out in the dry down. There's these light blonde type of woods that come out. There's a little bit of musk, and it's just so well rounded. It's just so well composed. One of the most happiest, beautiful fragrances I've ever smelled. It's a feel-good fragrance like Mula Mula by Byron. So I'm going to end this video, round it out right now, and just wrap it up. Thank y'all for being here. I hope that y'all liked my shout-out video, to FragranceBuyCa, and I hope that y'all like this haul video. Let me know, what fragrances have you been buying? What have you been loving? Wear what you love. I'll see you next time, everybody. Peace out and bye. Smell great, my friends.